Welcome everybody. I'm doing a short video today and kind of keep you apprised of things going on and what I'm doing. This is a just whenever type of video, so welcome everybody. It's just give you some update and sorry about the hat. I got to wear the hat because um, my hair is a mess. That's all I got to say. Kind of wind blown, kind of a busy day today. Been going to church, to a new church, and checking out another class down there they had today. It was pretty good, pretty nice people down there. And then my friends who drove up here to go with me there, and we hang out because he lost his wife 3 months ago, and I lost mine recently, like 23 days ago, whatever it was. It's August 26th she passed. It was August 20th when she passed on the hill and revived and lingered until the 23rd. So we're both widowers, so we kind of help each other out. So we drove to church, and on the way back, the van started acting up, and it was a miracle we got back because the what do you call it, um, oh no, I've worked on cars so much. Why can't I think of what it is? And I replaced these myself. Well, it's the arm with the wheel on it that tightens your alternator belt and all that. The bearing went out, and so that's all stripped. We lost the belt. We had no. We lost the power brakes. This is a diesel, and it has a 78 amp two batteries, 78 amp batteries. So we were driving. So 21 to 22 miles back to the house with very little brakes, and we were just, it was a miracle we got back. That's all I got to say. We shouldn't have made it back, but we did. And the brakes went out and not go out, but there's no power brake. So you're stopping a big, huge, giant, heavy van. And just how it is, you could use this probably as it's a huge van. I mean, this is huge. It's been in that van many times traveling across the country and stuff like that with this guy who's the driver. And so it's an amazing thing that we actually got back. And so sorry to disappoint anybody out there, but we did make it back just fine. So anyway, I drove down to Denver, dropped him off so he can pick up his car. He has to come back. He'll stay Sunday night and get his van towed to a place to get it all fixed. Because just to get inside that engine, I looked inside the engine. I'm going, man, you got to take about half the thing inside this van to get. Almost have to take the radiator out to get the thing, unless you have some special tool, which probably a mechanic does, to get up inside there and pull it out. It doesn't take too much to pull it up. Then you got to get the right tension on the belt. It's an easy job, but not when you have to take half the engine apart. What I would have to do, or anyone else would have to do. But anyway, that's what was my day today. So he's on his way back here. So I thought I'd do a short video because I was thinking, because I'm giving you insights on grief. So I'm grieving too. And I'm doing this as an example for you guys. If you're grieving at a great loss, don't keep it bottled up talk. And I apologize in the first few videos, 2 or 3 videos. I was all distraught. I was beside myself. So I probably didn't come across the best. And the issue with the guy in Virginia has been settled. I just found out it's settled. Um, Basically, the guy is off his rocker, and that settled it. That's all I gotta say. There's nothing to worry about on that end now. Uh, he, I won't give you any information. I can't really give you any more information than that. That has been settled, so I don't have to worry about that one. But I get tired of this guy hounding me sometimes, and so and he can be pretty threatening. But so you just have to take the appropriate steps to deal with it. And that's all been done, all taken care of. So thank you for your prayers. Just keep praying for me. There are others out there. Um, things happen to you pretty strange when a bunch of people are out there. And so I was talking to my friend today, and and you look on YouTube or something, and you get your critics up there, and your critics are, you can't do anything about them. So just pray for them. Don't worry about the critics. They don't know me. They could call me. I talk to them. I'd actually do an online interview with them if they want. They can question me if they like. I mean, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. I've been in Christian apologetics for a long, long time. We're very reasonable people, but I found out a lot of people aren't. So they never contact you and just try to browbeat you or tear you down. And they come a dime a dozen. So just keep us in keep me in prayer. I always say us because that's my wife. My wife is gone. So if I say us, I mean me and my wife. But it's just habit. It's just habit. Why is it a habit? Because that's what I want to talk about today. Why is it habit? Well, it's a love that is true. That's what I want to talk about real briefly about what love and relationships are that are true. And my wife and I, we loved hiking. I saw this picture. I just said, just remind me of some of the places my wife and I would go and hike and sit on rocks like that. And so it's love that is true. And when you have a true love for each other, I mean, a real agape love for each other, um, warts and all, you never you never dominate the other person. If you're in a relationship that is dominating and it's only one side and you have to submit in that idea and you're leaning on that person only for your support, you got a problem in that relationship that will eventually subside. Or maybe you are in a relationship where you have to hang on to somebody who's treating you bad. I get calls all the time, and I can't do any counseling now because it's hard for me to online and stuff, and I don't have all the certification. It's all expired, so it was not good for me to try to do counseling. But it was one of the primary things that we came across when we did counseling or worked with couples and stuff was one was so needy they had to have this other person who was strong. Didn't matter what gender at all. It just didn't matter. Um, it could be the husband doing that to the wife or the wife doing that to the husband. It doesn't matter, and that's pretty unhealthy. And that's not a love that's true. Just want to say. And a love that's true, and our, my wife and I, we got along. Our first 3 years of marriage was, of course, a little rough, but not that rough, and make it sound like it's worse than it was. I call it the adjustment period. Here I got this person, and now I just find out things about her, and things like that, and she's finding out about me, and then you know, and then you love each other, you put up with each other, and you work with each other, and you gel together. You're like one, literally. What I lacked, she covered for, and what she lacked, I covered for. We fit like two peas in a pod. Can't explain that. And we never dominated each other. And never, and we both relied on each other, trusted each other, uh, explicitly. And like I said, my wife was a rape survivor, a violent rape survivor with a knife stuck to her throat, woke up with a guy over her bed. She talked out of it so she wouldn't get killed and he wouldn't take a shower. And she got out of there, called the police, arrested him. Her hardest trauma would be the court trial, how the defense attorneys treated her. And if you ever dealt with defense attorneys, I hope you never do. They can be quite nasty, and they were quite nasty to her, and that really traumatized her. But the guy was put in jail, I guess, with a he didn't get the maximum sentence, and he got out about a year or two later, and that scared her to know that that predator was out there. That predator eventually got married. I don't know where he's at now. He's probably long gone. But that's the type of um, relationship. When you love each other, when you marry someone like that and you find that out about them. 'Cause she told me, and I read the report, and she just broke down and had to work through that. Many sleepless nights with her. She would hardly could go to sleep with the noise, and she'd be up shaking, and um, things like that. I would get up and look around the house a half dozen times, make sure there's nobody around. All these things I had to do to help her. And it's through love and patience, and she got better over time. And this was the woman I wanted to marry, and I did, and we both loved each other, and we want to spend the rest of our lives and grow old together That's exactly what we wanted to do. That's a love that's true. And it doesn't mean we never got in any little spats, but we never let the sun go down on, on our wrath at all. We never did. And so I learned a long time ago, it was someone is infuriated at you with a violent temper or stuff. You have to back off for a time, even though you're not mad at a person. You have to know that. But in a loving relationship like this, we were never like that to each other. My wife would get frustrated at me sometimes, and I get frustrated to her. But I remembered someone said to me, um, you know, she's always right. Let her be always right, and then she'll come back to you and admit that she's wrong later. Good advice. And happy wife, happy life. And and we worked together very well, and we loved each other, and I still love her, and I miss her. I miss the conversations we had. That's what I miss the most. She was there. We just did everything together. Many people don't know this, that when the big C hit, I can't say the word. I don't want to get anything happen, but the big C hit in 2020. I had it. She didn't get it, but I had it. And it was pretty bad, actually. But I got over it, and we did not get the quadrilateral, you know, thing that supposed to get. We never got that, but we had it. And so everything shut down for me, and I thought this was it. I'm not going, I just cut back on traveling because she sacrificed all these years letting me go minister all over the place and across the country everywhere and doing all these things. I look at all the people that have benefit from things I taught and everything. I'm getting thank yous and condolences from people who I've never met, who saw me years ago at some place. They thanking me. They're saying they're praying for me, and I thank you for that. That is wonderful. So sometimes you wonder if you're helping anybody at all. I don't do this because I'm some swell head or I'm some delusional idiot. Okay, and trust me, there are people out there who will try to make you a delusional idiot, and but try to make you sound one. And what happened to me happened. I can't do anything about it. I could have shut up and never said anything and crawled into a bottle of booze like I used to be and hide and just be a drunk and be everybody's friend. Yeah, and run into the world and everybody would like me. No, no. Jesus got a hold of my life and changed my life, and Jesus got a hold of my wife's life and totally changed her. And through our relationship, I was able to help heal her broken heart by being raped. And I know a lot of people out there that are in there who want to take that away, your ability to help other people, and they want to, you know, destroy your life. And if you're married to a person like that, you know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, relationships. Because people will find themselves married to a person who can't get their way, and they oh man, the marriage counseling and the family stuff that I did early on in my career is in social work and stuff. Oh my, it is family counseling. Ain't my cup of tea. And husband wife counseling is what I'm primarily saying. And my gosh, why don't we just get swords and let them have at it, but we can't do that. I felt like sometimes, when you're like that, you don't have true love. You really don't. You got to learn to gel together. But if you have two wounded people, two hurt people will hurt each other constantly. Is what I'm saying. Hurt people, and hurt people love hurting other people to make them suffer. And they'll do anything to get their way. If you're in a relationship like that, you're either in a narcissistic relationship or you're in a sociopathic type of relationship, and that rub off on you if you're and your husband and wife, or I don't care if you're whichever, but it'll rub off on you, and you'll carry on and you'll mirror the same traits, and you'll take on that, especially if there's somebody. Oh, I'm going to use somebody no name, but it was a business in a business corporate sense, and didn't like somebody, and so his wife was got in on it to get approval from him and keep the approval of that he's God, he bowed down, he can do no wrong. And so she agreed with him, and they destroyed this person's life on the job, and they have fired him. But the guy, that individual is long gone, and he's doing fine, got another job, and everything worked out for him. But that's the type of people. And I'm dealing with sex offenders and families too, so this goes with that as well, because that's where that came from. I can't divulge any more than that. But that type of thing is unhealthy. In a lot of places, you don't deal with that type of issue of sex offending or anything like that, but you deal with narcissistic behavior or controlling behavior in a relationship. And the worst ones, the overt ones, are obvious. It's the covert ones that you have to be very, very careful for. And I found this true in ministers in churches to be this way too, even with their wives. I've come across this. They're very covert. They come in, they try to be all helpful. They're the knight in shining armor. We're doing everything for you. Next thing you know, you're wondering what you said something wrong, and they're pouting over there, and they're having a you know, it's just control what it is. And it doesn't matter, male or female, whatever it is, it cuts both ways. That's a love that's not true, because that type of narcissistic thing is just this. It's just, I am going to feel superior over you, and I will dominate you, and you will do what I say. And that's the trait of all narcissists. The coverts just hide it a little longer, but it comes out in a relationship. Some of you know exactly what I mean, because you came out of them, because some of you have talked to me about it. And you have to work through that. And I look at all that of my wife and I's relationship. We are very blessed. God really, really blessed us. And I thought my phone rang, and it's just, we didn't have to put up with that, because neither of us are narcissists or control freaks. And it was just, I love how God put us together. We bloomed together. So by 2021, whatever, when that season ended, the thing covering, you had to wear all those things. Um, I said, I'm going to drop out of, just fade out. I'm not going to do any more ministry work. I'm not really not going to travel anymore. I'm just going to kind of lay it down and spend the rest of my life with my wife. We made plans to move out of here. We're trying to move out of here. We're putting all the stuff together. We have no idea where we're moved. We're going to go to the East Coast and check out some places with some realtors. We're planning for that, but that's not going to happen now. And it hurts, because it will be a brand new adventure. We're at a place where we can travel and go to historic sites and just spend the rest of our days together. And that's what I wanted. And I'd go preach here and there if anybody wanted, but I was going to kind of be low key. Did write my second book. I'm writing my third book. Um, so And my third book, I'm not going to tell you too much about it yet. I don't even know the title. I have a title, but I'm not going to say what the title is, because that's probably not going to be the title. And so I'm in the process. I'm going to focus in on that. I had to put it aside because of all the funeral arrangements. Get back on that. Help me keep my mind sane. And so when you lose the love of your life, and I was the love of her life, it's very empty, and you feel a great sadness and great loss, and he comes in waves. I'm doing okay right now, but when I'm home alone, and I've been alone quite a bit for the past few days, it just gets on you. Where's my wife's voice? You know, where's her cold feet and her cold hands, and how we? I won't get into all that. I miss all that. I reach over, and it's a hot day. She says, "You're too hot. Leave me alone." Oh, never mind. It's like, you know. Your skin is on fire. I says, yeah, that's how God made us, because he made us to keep you ladies warm, but not in the summertime. And we would joke around, and we'd kid with each other. We laughed. Always, like I said, she was my brown-eyed girl, and I loved how she smiled. I never thought it would end like it did. At the park where we exercise, she had a lethal arrhythmia due to the Mr. Thing C that happened back when she had it in late 23 and the first part of 24. The same symptoms that other countries document causes this type of malady, mostly with the pinpricked people, but also can do otherwise as well if you had it. And not in all, it's usually very athletic people. My wife was very athletic. She had perfect blood pressure, no heart conditions, no problems, nothing to indicate she had anything. She ran up the hill like she did, she ran right up the hill, a short way like she likes to do, or she goes a longer way. She runs up the top of the hill. This is no small hill, and so she runs to the top. And this time, I just decided to go to the car because I had a blister on my heel, and got the water bottles out, looked up, and she wasn't there. And I saw her feet kicking in the ground, and ran to her. I thought she was stung by a bee, and I could maintain her until the people got there. Um, but it wasn't that. I lost her on the hill after the EMTs asked me how long she's breathing. I sure remember 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and her spirit left. Ever had somebody die in your arms? I mean, or seen them die? You know what I'm talking about. I've been around death quite a bit. With my dad when he passed, my wife's father when he passed, other folks as well, and and her eyes were the whites of her eyes turned gray and her eyes opened, and so they were said to do chest compression. So I put her to the side. I said, I got to close her eyes first. So I closed her eyes. How would you like that? True love will do that. So I did chest compressions for 10 minutes. You're only supposed to do them for 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes, and have a spotter take over. And of course, the 911 people do not know I have tons of CPR training. And so I'm saying I don't have a spotter. I'm getting dizzy. I'm getting dizzy. Keep at it. Keep at it. I could hear the sirens coming closer. The darkness finally descended upon us. It was cold. Uh, I kept going. The EMTs finally came up there. I was exhausted, rolled off to her side. They went to work. They had a slight pulse. I managed to bring that back. But they lost her, shocked her, lost her. More compressions, lost her, shocked her. Stabilized her, gave her all these medicines. It was one thing to watch. Your true love. Go. Brought her back. She's only hung around life for till the 23rd. And some people go, you know, and I get some really snotty people. Well, God, took your wife. Well, you know what? I don't. You can shove it where the sun don't shine if that's you. Uh, I thank God for a dream I had. I already told you about that dream, and I know I will see my wife again. And if you don't accept Jesus, you're going to have to answer for your comments, not to me. Don't worry, I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about you. You need Jesus. Jesus will give you the answers why bad things happen, even to you. Do you think that my wife, as a young Christian girl, was whose apartment was broken into and she was forcibly raped at knife point, and managed to get out of there with her wits and survive and then go to a horrible court thing that they convicted the guy anyway, and think she should lose her faith? No. Her faith got her through it. That's what people don't understand. We live in a fallen, stinking world, and we do this to each other, not God. So you need to button your lip. And then and things happen in this life we don't understand. I don't understand why what happened in 2020 happened. I do know the documentation. I've had it, and I watched it taken off, being taken off of things, and now it's come back out. And I know who and why it was done, but you can't say anything about it. We're dealing with some very, very interesting times. And if you don't think that we live in an evil world and it's all, why, how can you explain what's going on in the world? And my wife was scared to death seeing what's coming down the pike. She sensed things that I couldn't, she was worried. She was worried about somebody coming over here, and I know who she was worried about and who was going to take me out. And that's gone. That's not going to happen. That's settled now. And she was worried about these things, and she was worried about. Um, she could see the danger happening. I'm glad she didn't see what happened in Aurora, Colorado. I'm glad that's not too far from me, and other things. And it's dangerous to drive down downtown Loveland, Colorado at night. Certain part of downtown area. It used to be just a little cow town. Now it's a big city, but it's like not too many, 2 or 3 years ago. You can drive down there just fine. Mm, People who should not be in this country are down there walking around doped, drugged up. It is frightening what's happening around here. And so, and she saw things, she could see things coming that I couldn't, and she didn't want to be here. And so, yeah, um, I will see my wife again. I have hope. I have a future and a hope. What about you? Do you have a future and a hope? I have hope in my future's in Jesus Christ. You can call me a lunatic. I don't care. You can say I'm off my rocker. I made things up. Whatever you want to do. I don't care. I know what happened. It convinced me my life is totally changed. And trust me, you do not want to see me. My friends back east who knew me then, I was, I was, I was a drunk. That's all I can say. And I did some other drugs too back then. The popular stuff like pot and stuff. Some of the things like that, and mostly it was alcohol. Alcohol really did me in. And you don't want me to live like that. I don't want you to live like that. And the Lord helped me to change my life. I don't drink, don't smoke that stuff anymore. You don't want to, have no desire to. I don't want to see other people do it because it'll ruin your life. And but that's the way people want you to live. You want to live like a drunk, you can handle your liquor, you can do no, you can't handle it. It'll take you for a ride and you won't even know you're on it. And some of you know who what I mean after you quit drinking, and the ride it took you on just to stop drinking too is hard enough. Falling off the wagon continually and all that. So that's why Jesus is so important. He's he's a real person. He comes inside, lives within you, and he gets you through the rough times, the hard times. He gets you through this. And that is a love that is true. And that is an amazing thing because I lost my wife, my true love here, but I always feel the love of Christ gets me through things. Now you can make fun of me. Other people can make fun of me. They can say you're mentally unstable, whatever whatever. I had it thrown at me by 1,000 different ways. You got to remember, I worked on an apologetics Christian website and had it thrown at me quite a bit with atheists throwing at me. And they always throw their comments at you too. It's good to spar a little bit. I always call it a little sparring. Doesn't hurt anybody. It keeps your swords sharp, and and your wits about you, how to answer tough questions. And so when you're prepared for it, yeah, when you're not prepared for it, it can catch you off guard, especially in emotional time. It's hard to answer people. So I just kind of backed off the tough questions. So just bear with me on that. I'm getting back. I'm preparing a video, and it will be on the occult world part 6 or 5. I can't have to go looking where I left off. I want to cover that and get back into that because I document. I don't just spout off stuff and conspiratorial stuff. I do research. I got evidence. I put it out there. I'll read it to you. I'll show you it, and you can explore and you can check it out yourself. And you can look at my documentation. You'll see. I do my homework before I do anything. It takes me a while. I'm almost done with this video, getting ready for it, and I got to figure out how to present it now, and how I may have to tone it down and put another part to it, make it into 2 videos. I might have to. That's what I'm working on right now. Get the rest of the slides made for it, and been working on those, and you will find it very interesting. And it'll explain why you're seeing a lot of what you're seeing today. A lot of people don't believe any of this stuff, but you gotta. Why do a bunch of people go to Northern California to where the woods are red and all men, and business corporations and Media, all the cultural mountains of influence are there, and all the media moguls, politicians. You got the hillbillies there. You got different places where they meet. Why do you have that? What do you explain about that island in the Caribbean that they won't let you talk about? What's going on? And it's well documented. You don't have to go do too much research to find out how easy it is you can even find out the names of the people who attended these places. You'll shock you. About every Republican and Democrat president has been invited to this grove out in California. And Richard Nixon gave his take on it, and not too many nice words. And I can't repeat them here. But, and other people have to end up being go there, and it's like, wow. But anyway, let's call it the oligarchy. And the ruling oligarchy and the politicians meet, they hobnob and plan to take over the world. It would be a good thing. They have occult rituals and ceremonies and plays. I'll talk all about that a little in the other video. But in the meantime, I'm still grieving. I'm going to get off the here, because my friend should be arriving soon from Denver, and we'll go to church tomorrow. And I'm just glad I have someone to talk to. But and plus, doing these videos and grieving with you and talking about relationships actually helps me. But if you find yourself in a relationship where you're not allowed your little touch somewhere, like I have my man cave in the basement, it's mine. It's mine, and it's mine. and and I have a place upstairs. It's you know it's my wife. Sharon, she kept it up and clean and put little flowers in there and stuff. Wow, it looked really nice, better than I could decorate. So I love my wife's touch everywhere. She made the house the home. This is a green screen, folks. This is not my house. I'm in the basement. Behind me is a green screen, and that's a picture. But so and and she just made it a home. I made it a house, a masculine looking house, but my wife made it a home, and I love that. And you should love that too about your wife. You should let your wife have her touch, her paintings, her drawings, um, her little flowers, her little knickknacks, her little room. It'll do the living room however she wants. You may not like the color of the furniture, but let her have it. Happy wife, happy life. Don't be a male dominating chauvinistic jerk, okay? Um, your marriage ain't gonna last. Your relationship won't gonna last because you ain't all that in a bag of chips. You're gonna die one day. Life is terminal, and one day you're going to be accounting. And no matter how much you say, well, I hope I'm a good enough person, I might make it, or I can pull myself up the bootstraps, and all my good deeds will outweigh my bad deeds, or I just will be a dead hunk of meat so I can break all moral codes. Whatever you think, there's a day of judgment coming. I know that personally. And I know God's grace. He spared me. I did not deserve it. So that changed my life. I would like to see you spare your life. Just don't be so controlling. You have a wounded heart. You got such hate and vile hatred in your life, and you want to take it out on other people. That's a horrible thing. But if you're a spouse of one of these people, don't be controlled by them. I can't advise you what you can or cannot do. I would suggest to find some minister. Well, it's hard to find ministers anymore. Just find someone or a friend to talk to and tell them what's going on. And maybe if two heads are better than one, they may tell you to leave this situation and get out of it. That is the right thing to do in most cases. And there are some people who say they're going to be the martyr and try to save this person, and usually doesn't work. I'm just saying. You just have to decide on your own. If the relationship is not loving, and it's just dominated, and the person's just doing nice things to control you, to conform to some plot or scheme or plan, uh, or some way of thinking, and you start acting upon it just for their approval, you got a problem. That happens in churches too, with ministers and the congregants, and they get an unhealthy church situation, like the shepherding discipleship thing. One controlling person and a bunch of codependent people going to church, and it gets to be pretty bad. But true love is not like that. It says, husbands, love your wife and as you and give yourself to her, sacrifice for her and help her, but don't dominate her. Let her decorate. I have this little thing. I go, I wonder what Adam and Eve, where they actually live, how Eve decorated. A tent, whatever they lived in. I don't know. Maybe she had a nice table and some flowers, and she swept the grass. I don't know. I mean, I'm just Adam, clean your feet before you come into this come into this pad. I can imagine him. No, Eve, you snore. I do not snore. Well, you snore. Well, I know I do, but just roll me on the back, punch me, wake me up, so I'll get up. I think of things like that. Have an active imagination sometimes on those things. So you just think when you really love somebody, you learn to get along. You don't let the sun go down on your wrath, and you help each other. And you have a good relationship like that, like a lot of people do. And a lot of people don't. If you never know what I'm talking about, if you have a good wife or good husband, you can surrender yourself and not be so uptight and thinking that they're after something, or that you have to go in your way to please them. And you have to do what they say, or else they're going to leave. If they leave, they're going to die. And that's how they control you. So I'm just talking about that's just how true love is. And we did things together that we liked. And there again is my wife up in the Smoky Mountains. And we loved the Smokies. That's her quite a few years ago, I think 2017 or 16. And walking across a big bridge in the Smokies. And that's why I kind of chose this picture. Oh, yeah, this picture here was up here at Jim Lake Trail coming down there. I do not know how that got like that, but that light filtered or whatever, it was actually a pristine, clear blue day. There was no cloud around her, nothing. And there's one around me because I took a picture of that rock off to her side there where that bright light is. Up there, Sharon took a picture of me standing on that. I should show that one when I was much leaner and meaner, I guess. But that's things we like. And so I chose this picture. Love that is true. You gel together. You get through your hurts and pains together. You walk together. You breathe together. You complain together, but you always love each other. And that's what I wish for every one of you married people or people who are thinking about getting married. That's what you're going to have to learn to adapt to each other's quirks and just overlook your faults, a lot of them. And then all of a sudden it clicks. Marriage is a beautiful thing. And if you're not in that relationship, you got help in other churches, or maybe other people can help you and pray with you through that. That's what I mean. And so I'm grieving, and but I like to talk. So I'm gonna be doing some more of the teaching videos and stuff. I'll get back to that. That's helping me. I just can't sit in a house by myself, and I don't have her here to talk to. It's just so I'll just talk to you. I'll drive you crazy, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and want to sign off here in just a few minutes. So, whoops. Where did I do it? So I just put this up here, let you know, and get ready to sign off. And I'm going to go over to the live chat in just a second here. I'll turn this off. Go to the live chat. All right, this came on as just a whenever type thing. So people, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to get Facebook so I can see comments on Facebook. And Rumble, I can't get to see the comments yet. Okay. I was supposed to do jury duty and know that a defense attorney was pretty hostile. I mean, when I read my wife's legal report and what happened in that trial, that's nasty. You're talking about somebody whose life was threatened by a perp and with a knife, almost killed her. And what they said and did, oh, awful, awful. Yeah, they can be pretty nasty people. I couldn't believe it. If I ever found her record, I might just read it out loud to you so you understand what she went through. It brought me to tears. I don't know if I can find it. It's hard for me to go through the documents right now, and I got to, and I got to do all the death certificate stuff, and it's hard on you, especially you. Yeah. Well, thank you, Freud Hum Dunnington. Thank you. There's five people. They say I hope I don't even recall your name or seeing you. I thank you. Thank you for your comments. It helps me. And it's true. Joe says, and Jesus got a hold of my life and he won't let me go. Just like the song says, he got a hold of my life. He ain't going to let me go. I thank God he ain't going to let me go. Because, right now I have no idea what's going to happen in the future or what's going to happen to me. I don't know what to do yet. Um, just don't know. So just pray, you know. I have to open up the bills and look at them and see how bad they are. Hope the insurance will pay for it. I don't know. I don't know anything. And then have to deal with that with a fixed income and try to get some reduction done on that, all that stuff. I used to advocate for people. Now I got to advocate for myself. I want it out of this field. I don't want to go back in it. And, just, just incredible. I know Jesus won't let me go. He'll get me through. Okay. I better go. My friend's here. You here, Greg? Yeah, I'll be up. I was in the basement. I'll be right up. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye. Well, I gotta go. He's here. So he's coming over and had a rough day with the car. So I will just say, write in the comments and keep praying for each other on the live chat. Keep praying yourself. Put your prayer request in the comments, whatever. I'll just say this is a church. I'm just rambling right now. So with that, I gotta go get them into the house here. Okay. God bless you all. And I'm just gonna make myself disappear here the old way there.